Hello and welcome back to Humanfluence. Today we're going to talk about something becoming more evident as we navigate our world. The concept of the hive mind. This isn't just thinking alike and agreeing on things. It's about how entire schools of thought, belief systems, and collective behaviors seem to operate as if they're one singular mind, guiding masses of people in one direction or another, often without them even realizing it. The hive mind has had a massive influence on why the world is the way it is today. And as we explore it, we'll see how it affects everyone, whether they're aware of it or not. We'll break this down into three groups of people: those in the dark, those in the light, and those caught somewhere in between. Each of these groups' experiences of the hive mind are different, and their place within or outside of this collective thinking helps explain much of the division, confusion, and conformity we see in the world today. But first, let's define what we mean by hive mind. The term comes from the idea of a collective consciousness, where a group of individuals think, behave, and act as if they're part of a single organism, much like a hive of bees. In a hive of bees, every bee plays a specific role, working towards a common goal, whether it's building the hive, gathering food, or protecting the queen. They don't act individually, they act as one unit, driven by a shared instinct. In human society, the hive mind isn't driven by nature, but by societal conditioning, ideologies, and power structures. It's a phenomenon where large groups of people adopt the same beliefs, behaviors, and values, often without critically questioning why. These collective thoughts shape everything: politics, social movements, cultures, morality. And once you become part of the hive, it's difficult to step outside and see things differently because the hive mind rewards conformity and punishes those who deviate. So, how does the world divide into those in the dark, those in the light, and those in between? Let's break it down. Those we can describe as being in the dark. These are people who are either unaware that they're part of a collective mindset, or if they do know, they choose not to think about it too deeply. They're the ones who simply go along with the current, not questioning the beliefs and norms handed down to them. From a young age, people in this group are taught what to believe, whether it's through education, media, social expectations, or religion. These systems shape their worldview, often presenting a narrow version of reality as the only acceptable truth. If you've ever heard someone say that's just the way things are, then you've encountered this mindset. It's not that these people are unintelligent or incapable of thinking critically. They've just been conditioned to trust the systems they were born into. Think about the education system. From an early age, children are taught what to think, not how to think. They learn history from a specific perspective, are given answers to memorize, and are tested on how well they can regurgitate information. This approach rarely encourages students to challenge the status quo or question the framework they've been handed. In fact, stepping outside the accepted norms is often met with resistance. This sets the stage for hive mind thinking later in life, where people accept what they're told without critically examining it. Then there's the role of media. Those in the dark are deeply influenced by the media they consume, whether it's news, entertainment, or social media. The media doesn't just inform, it shapes the collective consciousness by telling people what to care about, what to believe, what to fear. When the same narratives are repeated across different platforms, it creates a sense of truth, even if those narratives are carefully curated or misleading. The more people hear the same thing, the more they accept it as reality. And because the hive mind thrives on consensus, those in the dark rarely feel the need to question what they're being told. In many ways, these are the people that are the lifeblood of the hive mind. They keep the collective belief system alive and strong by embracing and reinforcing it. They follow trends, adopt popular opinions, and align themselves with the majority. often without fully understanding why. On the opposite end of the spectrum are those in the light, the people who see the hive mind for what it is and have chosen to step outside of it. This group is often smaller, but they play a crucial role in challenging the dominant narrative, asking questions and pushing for deeper understanding. These are individuals who refuse to conform simply because it's the path of least resistance. They ask why, a simple yet dangerous question in a world where conformity is rewarded. The key difference between those in the light and those in the dark is awareness. People in the light have become aware that much of what society tells them is designed to keep them in line, to keep them part of the hive. They've developed the ability to think critically, to question authority, and to see beyond the accepted narratives. Far from an easy path, being in the light often means facing discomfort and isolation. Those who challenge the hive mind frequently face backlash, from being labeled as troublemakers or outcasts to facing outright hostility for daring to question the norm. But despite these challenges, people in the light understand that real growth, real understanding, comes from challenging the established order, from breaking out of the hive. Another way these people differ is in their willingness to seek out alternative viewpoints. While those in the dark stick to familiar sources of information, people in the light go beyond that. They read widely, explore different philosophies, and engage in open-ended thinking. They're not afraid to be wrong because they know that every question leads to a deeper understanding. They recognize that the systems in place are not necessarily designed to help them grow or prosper, but to keep them compliant. These people often feel the weight of the hive pushing back against them. When you step outside the collective mindset, you're met with resistance, sometimes subtle, sometimes overt. It defends itself by labeling dissenters. It labels outsiders as conspiracy theorists, troublemakers, learning to navigate with pushback without being pulled back into the fold. But there's a deep satisfaction that comes with being in the light, knowing that you are living authentically, that your beliefs are your own, not programmed into you by external forces. While the path can be lonely at times, it's also empowering. For one understands that to truly live, you have to be willing to step outside the comfort of the hive. And then there are those in between. Most people, however, find themselves somewhere in between, aware that something isn't quite right, but unsure of how to break free. These individuals experience a tension between the comfort of the hive and the pull towards something greater. They might see glimpses of the hive mind at work through moments of discomfort when they realize they're just going along with the crowd, or when they start questioning the narratives they've always accepted. Awakening to the hive. People in between are in a state of awakening. They're starting to see that the world isn't as straightforward as they once thought. They might begin to question the media they consume, noticing how repetitive and narrow the stories are. Or they might feel frustrated with societal expectations, wondering if there's more to life than following the same old path. This group is important because they're the bridge between those fully in the dark and those fully in the light. They are the ones who are starting to stir, who have the potential to awaken and break free. But the process isn't easy. There's a constant pullback towards comfort, toward the familiar, patterns of thought that the hive mind provides. What keeps most people in between is fear. The hive mind is comforting because it offers security in numbers. When you align with the majority, you feel safe, even if you're not living authentically. Breaking free means risking isolation, ridicule, and uncertainty. It means stepping into the unknown where your beliefs and ideas might not be accepted, where you have to think for yourself. There's a tension between wanting to break free but being afraid of what that might mean for relationships, careers, our place in society. It's easier to stay in the hive, but once you've glimpsed the light, it's hard to fully go back. This group is constantly pulled between the desire for truth and the comfort of conformity. The world we live in, the forces shaping our collective mind. So, why is the world the way it is today? The hive mind plays a massive role. Those in the dark reinforce the systems of control, keeping society running smoothly following the scripts they've been given. Meanwhile, those in the light challenge those systems, offering alternative ways of thinking and pushing for a more authentic, thoughtful existence. And those in between, they're the ones who could tip the balance, either falling back into the hive or stepping into the light. The world operates the way it does because these groups interact constantly. Media, education, politics, they all rely on the hive mind to keep people in line, to keep them thinking alike, to keep them from asking too many questions. But the more people wake up, the more cracks appear in the collective consciousness, and the more potential there is for change. Which path will you choose? At the end of the day, the question is this: where do you fit in the hive mind? Are you someone who's been in the dark, following the script without realizing it? Are you in the light, fully aware and choosing to live authentically? Or are you somewhere in between, torn between comfort and awakening? The beauty of this realization is that once you're aware of the hive mind, you can choose your path. You could choose to stay in the comfort of the collective, or you can start questioning, challenging, and ultimately breaking free. Humanfluence, out.
Hey, it's Joe with Humanfluence. I'm excited to introduce to you my new book, Solutions. This book explores who we truly are, eternal souls on a human journey, and offers insights to help you navigate life's challenges. Inside, I dive into ancient philosophies, world religions, and spiritual traditions that have shaped belief systems today, from Hermeticism to esoteric teachings and beyond. You'll learn about the role of synchronicities, intuition, and dreams, and how these universal experiences can guide your spiritual path. Solutions also explores the deeper metaphysical principles, such as the collective unconscious and the laws of the universe, which impact our lives in profound ways. To help you on your path, I've included practical psychic exercises to hone your intuition, deepen your connection to the unseen world, and awaken your psychic abilities. Whether you're looking to break free from limiting beliefs, transform your life, or simply understand the bigger picture. Solutions. Transforming your life through esoteric wisdom. Grab your copy on Amazon today. There's a link in my description, and I'll leave one in the comments. Humanfluence, out.